Tonight on the Local Live, another devastating fire in our community leaves families homeless. The New York Rangers alumni hit the ice at Homix. A Mamaroneck High School alumna shines on Fox's latest singing competition. The Larchmont and Mamaroneck Continuing Education Center brings immigrant stories to the big screen in a new Spanish film series. And New Year's means new beginnings. Tonight on our roundtable, we discuss how to stick to your resolutions. Good evening, it's Thursday, January 18th. I'm Maura Carlin. Welcome to the Local Live. We start with news from the schools. Faced with a surprise surge in enrollment, the Mamaroneck School District is taking steps to deal with potential overcrowding by studying options for the future, and they need your help. Parents of current students, they want you to fill out the email survey you received this week to let the district know about any future enrollees from your family. If your child's entering kindergarten in the fall, the district asks that you sign up as early as possible. Enrollment begins Monday, January 22nd. If you want to join a task force to study long-term options, attend a meeting on Wednesday, January 31st at the Homix Library, or watch a video, then apply. And keep informed. The school board's January 23rd meeting will explore redistricting of elementary schools with flex zones. This option would keep current students and their siblings in their historic zone, but new students might be assigned to another school to relieve crowding. No decisions will be made in January, but the board is anxious to hear from the community. Following last Friday's fire at 3 Dillon Road in the town of Mamaroneck, residents of all 40 apartments had to leave. Fire Chief Dennis Tortorella said the building needs extensive repairs before any tenants can return. Tiffany Smith of the Love Larchmont Facebook group said donations can be dropped off at St. Augustine's Rectory at 18 Cherry Avenue in Larchmont. Local resident Nelson Segovia is being hailed, though, for his heroic rescue of a 13-year-old boy. A former volunteer firefighter, Segovia said his first reaction was to go into the blaze with a fire extinguisher and see what he could do. County Executive George Latimer stopped by last week to talk about his plans and to answer questions from our viewers. Highlights include his statements on new executive orders, the county airport, and the Immigration Protection Act. Let's listen in.
The mission here is to make sure that there's a community policing aspect where police officers do their job, they're free to do their job, but their main job is not to do the federal government's job of immigration enforcement, that their main job is to do the community policing that they're hired to do in the village of Mamaroneck, in the town of Mamaroneck. I do not want to see any deal that gives up authority by the county and the people of the county to control the airport that's going to allow for expansion of the airport. Now we're responsible to provide a 60-day period so that the local government can understand it, get a briefing in front of their board meeting, and then hold a public hearing if they want so that residents can opine on it, and then they can issue a letter of support or opposition.
Watch the entire interview at www.youtube.com/thelocallive. Congratulations to Mamaroneck High School students Marina Tosi and Rebecca Marcus, two semi-finalists in the 2018 Regeneron Science Talent Research Competition. Marina and Rebecca are among 23 Westchester students selected to display their research in math, medicine, molecular biology, or environmental science. Westchester County Executive George Latimer honored the winners at a special gathering this week.
The ability to achieve in science, certainly in mathematics, is harder and therefore more prized when you've achieved what you have to this point. And we know that there's still another level of competition. Hopefully you'll all wind up in D.C. as part of the next round of opportunity. But we're still very proud of you. And we also know that whatever the future holds, this is one of those steps where you've been recognized for your accomplishment.
The semifinalists will head to Washington, D.C. to compete for one of 40 $2,000 prizes. And on January 23rd, the winners will be announced. Good luck to our Mamaroneck Tigers. As the immigration debate rages in Washington, a new film series at Mamaroneck High School focuses on the experiences and struggles of Hispanic immigrants. Moderated by local film scholar Michael DeGennaro, the series includes Sin Nombre, Quinceañera, and A Better Life. They'll be screened on January 25th and February 13th. To purchase tickets and learn more about the series, go to lmcce.org. Good news for hockey fans. Tomorrow, January 19th, the Mamaroneck Youth Hockey Association hosts a charity hockey game at Hommocks Park Ice Rink at 7 p.m. 26 local coaches and members of the Mamaroneck Youth Association will skate alongside Rangers alumni, including Glenn Anderson, Adam Graves, Ron Duguay, and Colton Orr. For ticket information, go to www.benefitgames.com/Mamaroneck. All proceeds will benefit the Mamaroneck Youth Hockey Association and help grow the hockey community. Mamaroneck High School alum Cheyenne Elliott is following in the famous footsteps of her grandma Dionne Warwick and cousin Whitney Houston. Cheyenne has advanced to the next round of new singing show, The Four, Battle for Stardom. Check it out this week on Fox at 8 p.m. Cheyenne also appears in the 2017 indie horror film Clinton Road. She plays the hostess. This Sunday, January 21st, from 2:30 to 4:30, the Larchmont Avenue Church and Neighbors for Refugees co-host a day of action to give community members information and opportunities to advocate for refugees. Speaking at the event will be Syrian refugee and activist Ahed Festuk and Reed Bonadonna, a Marine Corps veteran, author, and Larchmont resident.
So, have you been keeping your New Year's resolutions, or did you make any resolutions? Well, maybe you broke them already. You're trying to break a bad habit or start a new habit, making new friends. Maybe you were giving up smoking. Well, that's a bad habit. We have 3 guests tonight who are going to help us deal with New Year's resolutions, maybe picking up after we've stumbled, maybe starting some new resolutions, even though it's the middle of the month. I'd like to introduce Nancy Weiser, who's next to me. And Nancy is an integrative nutrition health coach. And next to her is Justin Gaita, and Justin is the head trainer at Push Fitness in Mamaroneck. And Sonia Sisti is next to Justin, and Sonia, you are a holistic health coach. And I believe Nancy and Sonia, you're both in private practice, and
That's right.
Justin, we mentioned Push Fitness, which is in Mamaroneck.
Right.
So welcome, and thank you for coming on to share your expertise. And let's start by explaining what you do. So if someone were to ask you, Nancy, what is a integrative health coach? How would you describe it?
It is somebody who helps you navigate the process of attaining whatever are your goals. And health is kind of incorporated with what are your larger life goals. So it's not just about what's the food on your plate, it's also about what are the other areas that really nourish you that come off the plate. So including relationships, career, whatever you do for pay, not pay, in or out of the house, physical activity. Is it the right thing for you at this point in your life? Is it too much, too little? And actually spirituality, whatever that means to you, not pushing any religion or other. So whatever, and it doesn't have to even be religion. So it's a confluence of all of those things that really allow you to first attain and then maintain your best vibrant health state.
Okay, at some point we have to talk about getting started,
Sure.
let alone maintain.
Sure, yeah.
Justin, what do you do as a head trainer?
So yes, I'm a personal trainer at Push Fitness, and our goal is support and guidance. People will come to us and say, how do we get started? So being under the supervision of someone who understands the movements and the way people are supposed to exercise in a healthy fashion, that's our goal. And we want to make sure that everybody is able to reach their goals, so we set attainable tasks that we feel that they can manage based off of their fitness levels when they come in or where they need to be going forward.
And Sonia, how would you describe a holistic health coach?
Well, a holistic health coach is a combination of a health coach and also a healer. So I do energy work with my clients, and the session takes like an hour and a half. We discuss the problem of the person, and then we set goals, and I guide the person to achieve their goals. Then we do the energy work, and we finally establish sometimes some homeworks to the next session that the person can practice in their own. And So yes, it's so beautiful. I love my work, and I continue doing the work because I see the result of my client. This is the biggest motivation that I have.
Yeah.
So.
So you all three have inspiration for us and you have information for us?
Correct.
Okay, I've got some questions, but I think the audience too, I want to remind you, this is a live interactive session, so feel free to call us or send an email or tweet your questions or comments, and you'll have a chance to talk to three experts in the field for a while. Don't delay, because time is going to fly by. So, Nancy, can I ask you what inspired you to get into nutritional work and integrative nutritional work?
Sure. Somehow I always intuitively understood that what I was putting into my mouth affected me in three ways. In how I felt in my body, how comfortable I was in my body, 2 hours later, how I slept that night and the next day. My energy level, was it even and consistent throughout the day, or did I feel that spike of energy with kind of a crash later on? Which was it, dependent upon what I ate? And then my mood. Was I cranky by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or was I still full of energy, ready to kind of take on the next thing because the day doesn't end at 4 o'clock?
So it was very much based on personal experience.
It was based on personal experience and observing other people around me who I saw maybe not functioning up to their perfect level, and I saw it as related to their food. So it was very much of an intuitive kind of a journey for me.
Justin, was it the same for you?
You know, yes, being in the fitness industry is a great place to be, especially in today's day and age. I can go into a room and everyone's always has a question for me because it's a hot topic.
And not just for, well, baby boomers, you mentioned before we went on the air, me,
Right.
but young people as well, because Push have a fitness program for
We have a
youth?
fitness program for all ages. We have youth, adolescents, we have middle-aged clients, and everything far and few between. Our goal is to make sure that people feel comfortable and they're getting the support and the guidance that they need because, like you said, walking into a regular gym is a bit intimidating. So our goal is to say, okay, let's take a step back for a second and figure out what you want to do and what you want to accomplish while you're here with us because, again, you know, figuring out your goals first and then working backwards is the best way to approach things.
And Sonia, what inspired you to get to be a healer?
Oh, well, I started a long time ago practicing yoga, and then I started studying as a yoga instructor, and then I discovered that I love energy, and I love, and I am a spiritual person, and I love to help people. I feel a lot of compassion for others, people suffering, so I really decided to start this energy studies as, for example, a healing touch and Reiki master practitioner. So and I see the result, how they get better. So and also working in a hospital as a volunteer in Greenwich Hospital doing healing touch. So and it's a beautiful community and to help people. So and then I study integrative nutrition that I can add more information, guiding my clients and combining the energy work with the coaching and so
I'd just like to explain to our audience that there's obviously a fire truck outside, so if you can hear rumbling, we can hear it. You may hear it at home too, and it's just outside the studio, which is unfortunately not so soundproof. So thank you, firemen, for responding. But we'll keep our conversation going because the emergency is not in the studio here. So let me ask you, what do people struggle with most often, Justin, when they come to the gym? Is it motivation, or they just don't know how to do it?
So they say in the fitness industry, January is the big time for everybody to walk in the door and say, all right, I'm ready to lose all the weight that I gained over the holidays. Now, you know, that's a big thing to tackle because we realize that weight didn't just come on in 1 week or 2 weeks. You know, it's a steady process. So we need to let people know that losing weight and getting in shape is a steady process as well. So we have a chalkboard up in the gym that we explain. We're going to put up our 2017 goals, our 2018 goals, and we'll reflect at the end of the year. So every time someone walks in the gym, they see what they put up on the wall in January and realize, oh shoot, I need to keep working towards that goal. I haven't reached exactly as far as I'd like to at this point.
So something in print reminds them that it's a long-term process.
Right, writing things down and making sure that you're able to continue forward and not just, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym today, or oh, I'm not going to, keep working towards what I need to do.
Nancy, do you find a similar surge in clients in January?
Yeah, January is a big time, and then sometimes people have to kind of think about it. Maybe they get started at the gym first, and it becomes sort of like March. By the time March seems to be a big wave of people. But yeah, getting started is a thing, and also just having the understanding that this is a process, as you said. You didn't get to, however old you are, you're probably not, none of us are 20, but if you're 30, 40, 50, this took you decades to get where you are and establish the habits that you have now. So what I do is I unpeel the layers that are the onion of your life, little bit at a time, see what's really going on there, while I simultaneously peel in the new layers so that they are sustainable. And it's going to be 3 steps forward and 1.5 back. And if we keep working together, which I usually work with people for a minimum of 6 months, by the time you add up all those 1.5s, which are the 3 minus the 1.5, you've gotten pretty far. And people are feeling usually very good. Like Sonia said, it's just incredibly rewarding to see the results and to be there and be part of the journey.
I've got a question for Sonia that I know a friend of mine wants to ask, but before I ask it, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back with more discussion about New Year's resolutions, especially fitness and nutrition.
You're watching the local live on LMC TV.
So I promised I'd ask a question from my friend who always tells me that she's too busy, she's too stressed out, she doesn't have time for the exercise program that she'd like to start, or the eating healthier because she's got to shop for all that, and then she's got to prepare it. Sonia, do you have a tip for her?
Oh, yes. Well, I recommend to quiet the mind, to start trying to be more focused and grounded. And for example, a good thing to do is start doing a short meditation at the beginning. So there are different ways to start a meditation. You can listen to peaceful music and breathe into the moment to be connected with the present. Or also you can add other choices of meditation. That could be like a guided meditation. One of my favorites is repeat to positive affirmations. I love to do that, and to write my goals and to be in contact every day with my goals. This is the way that I keep motivating, continue with this.
So to keep mindful, it doesn't have to be a 1-hour meditation practice every day. It can be a short
yes,
something.
Exactly. It could be a short time, but it's good to do often, if it's possible, every day. So it's just a moment of time of the day that you connect with yourself. This is very, very helpful to release stress and to be grounded, focused.
Justin, how do you encourage? What tips could you offer us?
I like to say that if people sign up for an event or something like that, it allows them to track their progress. So that may be, a 5K, or that may be, a weight loss challenge with you and your coworkers, or that may be you and your spouse want to challenge each other to doing 50 squats a night before sitting on the couch. Whatever that may be, teamwork really works well in this situation, and being able to say, hey, I have something that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to work with this and continue on that process.
And then you also mentioned that board that you
yes,
point
of
to
course,
when people
of course.
are visiting.
And I remind them every time they walk in the door and say, hey, those push-ups aren't getting any easier.
I had someone here talk about a vision board. That you know about vision boards?
Sure.
Tell us what they are.
Well, the way I've done them is you sit on the floor with a big pile of old magazines and newspapers and your scissors, and you kind of start flipping through, and you just cut out things that kind of, for some reason, caught your attention, caught your eye. And then you have a board, which is it could be the side of a box that came from Amazon or something. And then you have your glue or your tape, and you take all the things that you cut out and you stick them on your vision board. And you are basically communicating with the universe at that point that this is what you see for yourself. And that is a very clear message energetically that goes out there that says, these are the things that I want for myself, material or otherwise. Like you could pick up things that catch a mood. You could spell words out. And then people put them up in their offices or their bedrooms and so forth. And it's a guiding tool.
Okay, we have a question that's come in. I have to read it off the camera. My resolution, this questioner says, is to have less stress in my life, but work keeps me dragging and I can never meditate. What advice do you have for me? Well, Sonia, you gave a little advice in the beginning that it doesn't have to be a long meditation. It can be something very short.
Yes.
Anything to add to that? Another approach, perhaps?
Other ways to release stress could be breath exercises or practicing yoga, something that help you to be grounded and focused in something. I think these are other tips
Yeah,
that I
Nancy,
used
you
to give.
chime in?
I have a short, I mean, I can give the viewer like, do this tonight and it will help kind of thing. You want to hear that one?
Sure.
All right, so this is something from Andrew Weil. It's called the relaxing breath, and it's a 4-7-8 breathing count. And you have to do it exactly like this. You have to breathe in for 4, count to 4, hold it for 7, count to 7, and then breathe out with the whoosh sound through your mouth for the count of 8. So it's something like this. And then, now, if you do that for 4 repetitions, you will change your biochemistry right there. You will turn off the cortisol button, which is your stress on and off button, and you will feel better. If you wake up in the middle of the night with a start, no one ever does that, right? If you're stressed, you've got a lot going on. Force yourself to do it while you're lying in bed awake, and it will put you to sleep. 4-6 rounds of 4-7-8.
Okay. So
Breathing techniques are very helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do work.
Breathing techniques are important in fitness as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, making sure that, you know, even when you're exercising and you're keeping good form and good posture, if you're holding your breath, that explains why you're stressed. You know, you're not able to relax and do 2 things at once. So if you're doing a bicep curl or something like that, teaching your body to pull your shoulder blades back and be in a good position and being able to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth and able to, you know, maintain that stability is a big thing. And what you can do in the gym, I consider that the laboratory. Whatever you can practice in the gym, you can bring that to your outside life and then use that in your daily life.
Is having equipment essential to becoming more fit?
You know, it's really not. Just like Sonia mentioned with having, you know, 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day to yourself, being able to de-stress would be, you know, leaving yourself in a quiet area and being able to collect your thoughts and say, okay, I really want to make sure I get to my checklist today. And every day you should have a small checklist, whether it's, 3 things on it. And you can start it the night before and empty your mind and say, okay, I know that tomorrow morning I have to make sure I, get the kids ready for school or whatever it may be. But if you get to that checklist, if you give yourself those 5 minutes to recollect and restart and revamp your day, you know, okay, if I can check off all 3 of these things, I'm going to be happier with the results of my day.
We have another question that's come in. What do you think about Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, and shakes to lose weight? Nancy, you want to take that?
Sure. I think Sonia will agree with me that we're trained in a school where it's all about a plant-based whole foods diet. So there's basically nothing that you need that's not available in nature. And if you do it the way nature intended you to do it, with an emphasis on fruits and vegetables, maybe lean protein, depending if you want to be a vegetarian or not, that's up to you. You should be able to have, again, what I talked about earlier, body, energy, and mood. Feel good in your body, have high energy, attain your ideal weight, gain or lose weight to wherever you need to be for the long term. The concern with those products and those programs is that once they're done, even though they may have a built-in maintenance program, people tend not to be able to follow that, as opposed to retraining your mind to understand, when I eat this piece of food, it's not just going to taste good in my mouth. It's going to have an effect on me 2 hours down the road, tomorrow, the next day, and then further out.
So what you're explaining is essentially a difference between a diet,
Correct,
which would be to do something quickly,
right,
versus a lifestyle.
right, which you will lose weight, but it'll be more gradual and it'll be sustainable, and there'll be ways to forgive yourself. It's a 90-10 situation, not like keeping to a specific exact thing with products that you really don't need.
I had a conversation not too long ago with a doctor, an emergency room physician, who swears by something called the potato diet. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah.
I heard a little bit about it.
Yes, and I just looked at him. I said, Doc, seriously?
Yeah, doctors get less than 1 hour of nutrition training in medical school. usually.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the reason why people like ideas like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and stuff like that is because they think that it's simple. They think that it's outlined for them. They say, okay, I have to eat this shake for breakfast. I have to eat my frozen, meal for dinner. And people like the simplicity. So our goal as, health experts is to say, look, we can do the same thing and make things simple for you, but we're going to use whole foods, or we're going to use healthy options and make things simple for you, because it's not that people want a quick fix, but they want something that, okay, I can go on with the rest of my life. I don't have to think about what I'm making for breakfast, what I'm making for lunch, what I'm making for dinner. I know, boom, I could pop something in the microwave. So people like the easier options, but that doesn't mean that the easier options can't be healthy as well. We discussed prior to the show about crock pots and being able to freeze something in the freezer and do a little bit of meal prep one day a week. So if you start your meal prep on Sunday, you can prep for the whole week and know, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have specific foods that I'm going to be eating. Pop them in the slow cooker in the morning, and by the time you get home and you have to do all the other things that you have to think about, your food's already there waiting for you.
Okay, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, how do you stay motivated? And how do you deal with failure? We'll be right back.
Did you know you could watch LMC TV anywhere? Yes, even there. Go to lmctv.org and scroll down the main page. Choose your channel and click Watch Now, then press play. You can watch whatever's live on our channel wherever you are. Want to watch a specific show on demand? Go to Videos, click on Category, or Shows to list by title, or by keyword in the search bar at the top right of the page. It's all a click away at lmctv.org.
Welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm Mike Witch, and I'm here with Justin Gaita, who is a push fitness trainer, and Nancy Weiser next to me, who is an integrative nutrition health coach, and Sonia Sisti, who is a holistic health coach. And we've been talking about keeping our New Year's resolutions, especially when it comes to fitness and nutrition. And you've just got a few more minutes to call in with your question or comment, if you care to. How do we stay motivated? As someone who has been on many nutrition plans and some fitness plans, if I fail, I feel, oh, that's it, I'll never do it again. How do you keep your clients motivated, Sonia?
Well, first I say to my clients that they have the power to change their life. Just they have to set the intention to the world and believe that they really want to make a transformation in their life. So I like to say to them that it's important to start with the small steps and steps that they feel they can handle. So, for example, some people don't drink enough water, just 2 glasses of water per day. Well, now set as your first goal to start drinking more water every day and be hydrated. And start with goals that they feel they can handle. This is one of the things.
And you help them set those
There's
realistic
goals. Yeah,
goals.
of course, exactly. So eliminate some food and add food and go week by week or 2 weeks and then make another change. So this is one of the things. And then, for example, if they quit the diet for 1 day, or they have vacation, or they have a special dinner, it's okay. So you can do it. And then the next day, the next week, you start again. Because this is a process. It's a transformation. It's not something magic that you do a diet for 2 weeks and then your life changes completely. So it's really to feel inside that you want to have a different lifestyle.
Okay.
So,
Maintaining that feeling inside, that's a tough one that
Yeah.
I've dealt with. So
Yeah. You
Yes.
said the magic words there, the feeling inside.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is about. So when I set goals with people, when they help them to set their goals, I want to make sure that the goal is not something that is an activity. People confuse those two. So somebody might say their goal, don't take this the wrong way, is to go to the gym 3 days a week. And I'll say, well, that's not a goal, that's an activity. The goal might be, it has to always have these 2 words in it, the word so that. Go to the gym 3 days a week so that I can feel better in my body and have more confidence, as an example.
Sure.
And it's that feeling that you want to have that is going to be the motivator. And it's going to allow me as a coach to navigate you toward that, not toward just go to the gym or just lose weight. Because if you don't really know in your heart of hearts why, you're not going to probably be able to do it easily. Or if you do it, you may not be able to maintain it. But if I'm constantly using the word so that, you know, sometimes I'll get a person and I'm like, you know what, things are really pretty good for you. You don't really want to lose this weight. Like, you're good. And they'll, you know, we'll go through all the wonderful life they have. And it's not going to really be that much better if they lose 10 pounds. So maybe you don't need to do this. Or maybe you do.
They think that that life is better if they are thinner.
They may, but if I really get underneath that and say that their life actually really is already really good and they don't really want to do this, or they do really want to do it because let's say they got some test results from the doctor and they're scared and they want to be here for whatever, somebody's wedding or their own, they want to be here and they're now scared, well, that's like a little bit more of a motivator.
So all three of you are like psychologists, really.
Coaches, that's why
Coaches.
we say coaches.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have
part of
we
our
have a
job.
couple more questions. What about the day off diet or the day on, day off? Dodo? Doo-doo?
Dodo. Sounds like
Dodo.
it's for dodo birds. Right?
Is there a day? I've never heard of the day on, day off. Again, a diet, not a lifestyle. And any experience with that? I tend to think you're all going to go thumbs down. For that.
I think you know
Yeah.
us really well already, Mike.
Okay. The other question that came in was, what's the best holistic way to stop smoking? Now, we've heard about the patch and other nicotine substitutes, I think, but is there a better way? Can it be approached through meditation? Can it be approached through yoga or another method that you might want to recommend, or no?
I mean, yes, it is a way to start loving yourself. I think it's more starting with it. So, if you arrive to that point internally, well, the healing session with energy helps you in that a lot because you work with your energy and you really connect more with yourself, and this is a good way to start. And it's part of the transformation that you do when you do the coaching. So, and to arrive to that point that take care of yourself and is really very important. And
And nicotine is addictive. So
Oh,
there
yes.
is I guess a chemical
Oh, sure.
a chemical reaction that
Yeah.
you need to counter in some way, shape, or form.
yeah.
Like assistance with, which might be the patch. Good luck with that,
Yeah.
viewer. Yeah, I want to give you each a minute or so to talk about your practice and how people can contact you. You've already talked about some of what you can offer people.
Right.
Are you based in
I'm
our
based
community?
in Mamaroneck.
Okay.
I've lived here my entire life, and I had Mike Witch in high school as a teacher.
I'm that old.
So people can go ahead and look at my websites, which are weiserchoices.net, which is my private practice, and weiserchoices.com. It's WEISER, like
Okay.
Bud. Weiser Choices, all one word, and .net is my private practice. And that's a good way to see a little bit more about what I do and how I do it. And you can send me a text or call me, 914-310-7839.
Okay. Before we get to Justin, there's another question that's come in. Even though we know that eating greasy food is a bad habit for us, we keep doing it. So if smoking is a chemical addiction, is grease or greasy food somehow addictive? Does it have an effect on the body's chemistry that keeps you coming back for more?
They say it takes 21 days to create a habit. So being able to break that habit is obviously a hard part. When you start putting good things in your body and you start exercising and you start feeling better, your body does this magical thing where you actually start to not crave these types of foods as much. When you constantly go back for these greasy foods and you're constantly, going down this same rat hole, you're finding yourself ending up in a place where you don't want to be. But when you start to exercise, you start to eat healthy, and you start to have foods that have dense, good values for you, you're going to find that your body's not going to crave these things. And like both of these ladies have discussed, it is the mindset. Your mind is a very powerful thing. And it sounds like it's hard to approach when you're stuck in that non-conformed habit. But again, give it 21 days and see how your body responds. And you'll be amazed when you walk into a store and you're like, wait a second, I don't want to go for the pizza. I actually want to go for the salad today. I want to go for the apple. Your body will make these changes, but you have to be able to give it time.
Okay. So now you're on. Talk about
I'm back.
push for a minute.
So Push Fitness, yes, we're actually located right across from Brewer's hardware store. We're a small studio, but what we are is we're a guidance. We're a place for support. You don't just walk in and get on a treadmill. You come there to be able to talk with an instructor or a trainer who can help you, guide you in different ways. But what I like to say is we're also a community. We have outdoor boot camps held at the harbor on Sunday mornings in the summer. Unfortunately, not in the winter unless you want to, bring your snow boots with you. But we also have a running club on Saturday mornings, and that's free of charge as well. Our goal is to be able to make fitness reasonable for everybody. We want to make sure that you're able to get up off the couch, get in the door, and get started. Because like I said, if it's going to take 21 days, you know that walking into a big, large gym where everything is intimidating, you don't know where to start, you're going to find yourself either on the treadmill, mindlessly walking, or you're going to find yourself back in your car. So our goal is to make sure that we make exercise fun and enjoyable, so it's something that you look forward to and you say, hey, I got to go see those guys at Push tomorrow. I better put down that, that extra glass of wine and make sure I get my sleep because, getting your rest and making sure you can give us a full hour because, we'll make sure we push you hard enough.
Push, yeah, okay. Sonia, you're based in Greenwich,
Yes.
Connecticut, nearby.
Yes.
Tell us about your practice.
Yes, at the moment I practice by myself, so the way of contact me is Sonia, period totalwellness@gmail.com, and my phone is 203-252-8278, so I can receive a message and phone calls there. Yes, I am in the process to open my own studio, so probably with another person, and we are in that process. At the moment, I'm working by myself. Yeah.
And would that be a place where you might have a meditation sessions or yoga sessions?
We want to offer, I'm not sure about yoga, but we want to offer different modalities to holistic health, and integrative medicine is something that we have in mind. So hopefully in these 6 months we will develop this project. Yeah.
And I asked before about dealing with failure, and what I heard, the most encouraging thing is get up and move forward.
Yeah.
And don't let yourself being tripped up stop you. Yes?
For sure.
Any other parting wisdom you'd like to leave our audience with?
Forgive yourself, love
Yes.
yourself, as Sonia said, and realize that it is expected to be a process, like anything else that you've learned and become good at, where you take 3 steps forward and then 1 back, and then you just keep going, and those are additive. This is a cumulative process, and where you can end up, just in 3 or 4, 6 months, or even in a week. You'd be surprised, and then you get addicted to the new good feeling, like you were saying. You get off the greasy stuff because you're now feeling so good from your water and your apple that you don't want the other stuff anymore.
Justin, you said before we started about shopping, and your advice. You're not a nutrition expert, but I've heard this before. Shop the perimeter of a store.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's where the healthy stuff is.
You don't want to eat things in cardboard boxes all the time. You want to eat things that grow out of the ground. And if you circle around the grocery store, you're going to find most of those things. And a balanced diet is the best way to go. Eating the rainbow, having lots of different colors on your plate is important. And just, again, failure is going to happen to us all at some point in our lives. The best have failed, and it's the people who prove to themselves that they can take that, with a knock on their chin and say, I'm going to get back and prove to myself and prove to everyone else around here that I'm willing to make this commitment because I want to make sure that my life here is meaningful. Love yourself, respect yourself, and get to work. Words that I should live by. I will live by. I want to thank Justin Gaita, Nancy Weiser, and Sonia Sisti for spending some time with us today. And thank you for watching. And stay tuned for more Local Live. We've got more news coming right up now.
This week in sports, Mamaroneck hosted its annual boys basketball tournament. In a tough first-round matchup against undefeated Rye, Ethan Renner entered the game and immediately had an impact in the LMC TV Varsity Sports Play of the Week.
Ethan Renner now into the game for Mamaroneck, and the deep pass up to Renner. Oh, he gets the shot and the foul. What a move, and beautiful English on the layup by Ethan Renner.
Ethan Renner is able to shoot from deep, but also finish at the hoop. He's such a talented athlete and can play both sides of the court.
The Tigers ended up dropping that game to Rye before bouncing back with a resounding win over Port Chester in the third-place game. Now it's time for Pet of the Week, courtesy of Pet Rescue. Fanny is a senior cat with plenty of energy and love to give. She doesn't mind kittens or being on someone's lap. Bring this lady home with you now and have some company indoors when the winds are cold. Roscoe is a 4-year-old mutt who has great energy and even better manners. He likes to go on walks with dog friends, but prefers living in a home without other dogs or cats. Why not bring him home to be your new roommate? To adopt Fanny or Roscoe, or to see other adoptable pets, go to ny-petrescue.org. And as always, we're looking for new volunteers and interns to help produce this newscast. We love hearing from our viewers. Email inquiries and comments to thelocallive@lmctv.org. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in next Thursday for more community news.